Combat took place between masses in more or less deep formation, commanded and supervised by leaders with a definite mission. Leaders understood the mission. The combat between masses was a series of individual conflicts juxtaposed with the front rank man fighting alone. If he fell, if he was wounded or worn out, he was replaced by the man in the second rank who had watched and guarded his flanks. This procedure continued up to the last rank. Man is always physically and morally fatigued in hand-to-hand tournament where he employs all of his energy. These contests lasted but a short time. With like morale, the least fatigued always win. So, conditioning. Literally, we're talking about combat conditioning right there. That's what we're talking about. During this engagement of the first two ranks, the one fighting, the other watching close at hand, the men of the near ranks waited inactive at 2 paces distance for their turn in combat. So imagine this, Echo. I'm in the front and you're behind me, 2 paces, and you're going to watch me fight. So that's what he's talking about right here. At 2 paces for their turn in combat, which would come only when their predecessor were killed, wounded, or exhausted. They were impressed by the violent fluctuations of the struggle of the first rank. They heard the clashes and the blows and distinguished perhaps those that sank into the flesh. They saw the wounded, the exhausted crawl through the intervals to go to the rear. Passive spectators of danger, they were forced to await its terrible approach. These men were subjected to the poignant emotions of combat without being supported by the animation of the struggle. They were thus placed under moral pressure of the greatest of anxieties. Often, they could not stand it until their turn came. They gave way. So that's just a crazy way to think about combat. You're standing behind me. I'm fighting. I get clubbed in the head. They stab me in the chest. I'm dead.
Yeah,
and actually, no, that didn't happen fast. Let's say it took 2 minutes, right? And you're standing there watching me. You're like, oh, go, hey. And then all of a sudden I'm getting killed.
Yeah, and then I'm up.
And then you're up.
Dang. Yeah, that's when he says like the most anxiety. Yeah. The most. Imagine you're 4 guys back.
Well, yeah, you're 4 guys back. And I can totally confirm this. In combat, the time when you're waiting to go is the worst. Like when you get to a pre-staging point and now you're waiting to go, you're like, okay, you got all this stuff going through your mind. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this guy moves? What if they do this? You got all this turmoil going in your mind. And you're not even, we're not talking about this situation where you're watching your guy get stabbed in the throat. I know, yeah. Right? And just standing there watching it, waiting for him to go down so you can step up. And by the way, you know me. And so if you see me get crushed, but when we train, I'm crushing you, you know you're walking into your death, right? Because, you know, like Jocko, he's good with the sword. Oh, he just got stabbed in the neck. Yep. Now I got to go take his place against Billy Badass, my enemy, and I don't stand a chance.
Yeah, that's rough.
So that's why he's saying a lot of times these people turned and gave way.